So we've been talking about ways to fight back, and that sometimes even traditional unions aren't the best way. But guess what? Coronavirus fight, some U.S. worker unions become more aggressive. Some U.S. workers are breaking from generally accepted union procedures to respond to corona-related risks. So this is from Portland. This is on March 20th. Employees from the newly formed Voodoo Donut Workers Union, the VWU, delivered a letter to management announcing the formation of a union and demanding, by the way, so if you go to Portland, they have this awesome donut shops called Voodoo Donuts. We went.
Yeah.
They've got great donuts, and there's a line down the street to get in. And I guess there's several locations now, from what I understand. And so they're always busy. They have lots of employees, and now they're unionizing, and they're making a demand. They demand higher wages, safety improvements, and severance packages for employees laid off because of the coronavirus and Oregon's ongoing shelter-in-place order. So that's what they're demanding. They're demanding higher wages, safety improvements, and severance packages for people who get laid off. What they did is significant because it breaks from generally accepted union procedures in the United States and may serve as a blueprint for how employees will respond to virus-related risks in the workplace. So that is significant. It breaks from generally accepted union procedures. Instead of first going through the arduous process of a union election and contract negotiations, these workers use pressure tactics to push their bosses to meet their demands directly. The Voodoo Donut Employees Union is an affiliate of a labor union known for its use of rank-and-file organizing as opposed to union staff. So instead of using paid union hierarchy and staff, they're using the direct workers are doing it. The larger organization is called the Industrial Workers of the World, or the IWW. It is not just another labor union where workers campaign to win recognition and negotiate a contract. The IWW is a vehicle for a worker-led organizing effort where workplace action is prioritized. Sounds like my kind of union. Conventional unions operate under tight federal regulations. Before they can address many workplace issues, most unions in the United States have to hold elections and work through established mechanisms. That procedure can take years, and unions are at a legal disadvantage. By not following the established rules, the Voodoo Workers Union members are foregoing traditional barriers. In effect, they are taking action without asking permission. Their ability to take immediate action to disrupt the workplace and extract some sort of concession appeals to low-wage service workers in Portland and across the United States. So there's a name for what they did, too. There's a name for this. And so instead of doing all the rigmarole you have to do to be an official, legal, all that union, and doing what they did, this model is called solidarity unionism. Solidarity unionism, where workers gain bargaining strength by taking action on the job, such as confrontational demand deliveries on their bosses or holding rallies, rather than following only federally sanctioned union elections or strikes. This is exciting. This is the kind of stuff I would love to be involved with. Because many of the workplaces employing solidarity unionism, did you ever hear that term before, by the way,
Never.
Steph? I never heard of it either. Solidarity unionism. Because many of the workplaces employing solidarity unionisms are small, the benefits of union contracts may be years away. Moreover, the National Labor Relations Board, the federal agency that governs unions, is filled with conservative appointees from the Trump administration who have imposed difficult restrictions on unions. And I'm going to guess, I don't know, but I'm going to guess Barack Obama's appointees weren't that much better if Tom Perez, I think, was one of them. Wasn't Tom Perez his labor secretary? I have to double check that. And that was before the coronavirus made low-wage service workers essential. These are just some of the factors increasing the popularity of solidarity unionism. In Portland, the IWW has been organizing workplaces that are often ignored by larger unions because of low wages and high turnover and small size. So it's not in the interest of the Teamsters to go organize Voodoo Donuts or a local burger chain. But it is for the IWW. This is how the Burgerville Workers Union, or the BVWU, the Burgerville Workers Union, formed 4 years ago. Employees at the popular local chain were frustrated with low wages and demanding schedules. They rallied the entire city behind a campaign centered on strikes and public action, including a multi-year boycott, all tactics that would usually accompany an immediate union election and a contract fight. They believe they largely won their tug of war with their employer because they started pressure tactics from the beginning. Now that they are in contract negotiations, they are continuing this direct action approach. The BVWU is trying to set an example for the rest of the service economy in the city, encouraging other employees to take action at their jobs rather than waiting for a professional union apparatus to intervene on their behalf. Yes, we got to get somebody from the IWW on the show. Let's get somebody from the IWW. We had Jane how do you say her name? McLevy. We had her on the show. She's written several books about union organizing. She's a big organizer. She knows how to do it, how it gets done. She said there's going to be a lot more strikes before the election and a lot more after. And we'd love to have her on. She's busy, so we couldn't get her on today. We tried to get her on today. So we got to get some other union leaders who are available to talk to us because we need them. We need to talk to them. So that's an amazing story. I didn't know anything about solidarity unions. I never heard of it. And Steph, you're a union leader with the teachers. Did you ever hear of solidarity? You never heard of solidarity unionism?
No, I didn't.
But this sounds fantastic. Doesn't this sound great?
Well, I think the idea that you're forgoing the mechanisms that are already in place that take years.
Right.
Like it's urgent.
Right.
It's essential that these people are taken care of right now.
Yeah, it's like I don't have a bunch of years to wait for me to get protective gear at my store from the coronavirus or severance pay because I'm getting laid off today. I don't have your, let's just do something.
And I've said this before, if the government says, hey, you have to shut down, well, then the government has to
pay you,
then take care of you.
That's right.
And then you also have to, if you say Congress, you call these people Congress, you call people essential workers. Who are you? And I think as long as Congress is calling people essential workers, then you need to give them the proper protection. Jimmy, you opened the show today talking about Nancy Pelosi, and now Nancy Pelosi is corrupt as anybody else.
Oh, yes.
For sure. But the idea that, I don't know, did you catch how Nancy Pelosi is color coordinating her masks?
I didn't notice.
Jimmy, that's what the oligarchs are doing. She was coordinating her mask with her outfit. In these dire straits, she has the luxury of these kind of choices. When people who are working, and Ron Placone reported it on yesterday on his show, talking about the Domino delivery guys and women who have to buy their own gloves, their own protective gear, and they are definitely protesting at those workplaces. They deserve better.
I agree. I think the only thing that's going to obviously our politicians are not going to save us. They're not even going to fight for us. They're not even doing a goddamn thing for you. I'm not talking about the regular Democrats. I'm talking about the people we consider progressives. They're not doing anything for you. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders, the Squad, AOC, Tulsi Gabbard. They're all nothing's. Have you gotten your nothing? So I think it really it's going to have to come from labor, hopefully, but not I don't even know about the traditional unions, because you know how that goes. They're also
Co-opted.
They become part of the establishment. Look at Randy Weingarten in bed with Hillary Clinton and the neoliberals. She's the head of the teachers union, so that's not good. So I think that it's going to come from the bottom up, like guys like Christian Smalls, right? Remember we had him on that's his name, Christian?
Yes.
Or is it Chris?
Christian and Chris. I've seen
Okay.
it written both ways.
Okay. Hey, this is the part where I tell you where our live shows are, but there aren't any. And then I would tell you to go join our premium, but nobody has a fucking job. So why don't you just enjoy the video?